Hey guys, I want to do a video today about something I've really been working hard on for myself, and I've made such amazing friends in the comment section on my videos. Ladies, I love y'all, and I know we are all struggling with some of the same stuff. I told y'all I'm a notebook nut. Well, it's not really a diary, but kinda it is. I keep a lot of stuff written down in here that I need to remember, and that includes positive affirmations and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do a video today, and I'm gonna title it like something like "Stop the Lies," "Stop Lying," something like that, because it is about how I have lied to myself for most of my adult life. I don't know why I do it. I think a lot of us women do this, and some men too, I'm not sure. But I do know women especially do this. So I had sat down a while back and just randomly, every time I would think about it, I would write down something that I was going to stop lying to myself about. And I have 17 lies that I'm going to work through. And the only reason I know these, I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. These are all things I personally have done myself, and I don't want to do anymore. And for the most part, I've really cut out a lot of this, but some of them I still stumble with and have to work on them. So let's get started, and I'll tell you the lies that I've had to work on for myself, and maybe you'll see some of yourself in some of the things that I talk about. Number one, fudging on numbers. This might be how many carbs I'm eating. This may be how much weight I have lost. This may be whatever, just fudging on the numbers. I'm guilty of this. I don't know why, but I'm not lying to anybody but myself. Everybody around me saw how big my body was. They knew the truth. It was only a lie in my head. So I don't do that anymore. Number two, stop lying about how much you're eating. I've done this a lot. Let me give you an example. There were times when, many times, this was not like a random occurrence. This was something that happened quite often because I was extremely overweight. So I was doing something, If I, let's say everybody wanted a candy bar like after supper or something, and I was running to the store to get one. There are 5 of us. I didn't buy 5. I bought 6 or 7, and I ate 2, whatever extras that I bought. I ate those on the way home from the store, and then when I got home, I ate the one like I was everybody else, like, well, I just had one just like everybody else. No, heifer, you had 3. So I gotta stop, and I haven't done that in a long time, but it was what I did. And if I wasn't trying to get healthier, I'd probably still be doing it, So anyway, number 3, stop lying about how often you eat or cheat. I have said, oh, well, I haven't had anything to eat all day long, so I'm going to eat blah, 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 blah. Like I made it okay to eat whatever it was I was wanting to eat by saying I had not had anything to eat earlier, and I had. Now, there are a lot of times I do skip breakfast, but, there have been times where I lied and said, I haven't had anything, so I'm going to eat whatever it is I was wanting to eat. Now, again, I'm not lying to anybody but myself, so not doing that anymore. I have to work on this all the time myself, guys, because when times get rough, I slide right back into these old ways. So I'm just making myself aware of it so that I do stop doing it. Number 4, don't hide to eat. Guys, I hate eating in public. I don't like to eat in front of people. If I'm at a party, don't offer me food because I'm not going to eat it. Now, this one, I haven't fixed this one. I still do this one. Now, I'm getting better. I will make myself eat in public or whatever. I don't know what my hang up is on that, but I would, like, if I went to a function and I didn't eat at the function, I would eat on the way home in the car, and I would eat a ton because I hadn't eaten and I was hungry, and I lied and said I wasn't hungry. And anyway, not lying anymore on that one. Number 5, give yourself permission to eat and stop using food as a form of punishment. This kind of ties into the other one. Like if I were in public and somebody hurt my feelings, I would like punish myself by eating a crap ton of something. And like nobody has ever, I can't say ever, people have hurt my feelings about it, but it's what's in my mind. I thought people were looking at me and going, "You fat cow." So when I got in, by myself, I would punish myself by eating a ton of something because I was going to make sure, I guess I was that fat cow that I felt like everybody was calling me, when in reality, people aren't thinking, about me. They don't care. Not that they don't care, but people aren't thinking about me near as much as I think they're thinking about me. So I use food as punishment. If I have, like I've said, I had my feelings hurt, I would punish myself by eating. And I've also kept food, I wouldn't let myself eat as punishment. So I'm not going to do that anymore. Number 6, don't eat while you're cooking and then sit down to eat with everyone else like you haven't eaten. Ladies, I bet we're all kind of guilty of this. When I would cook supper, I would grab a bite of this and a bite of this and a bite of this and a bite of this. And some of the times I was slipping those bites. I did it when nobody was looking. But then I would sit down with my family and eat supper like I had not eaten. And truthfully, I had probably eaten more than my share just by snacking the whole time I was cooking. And then I would sit down and eat another whole meal with my family. I'm not going to lie to myself and pretend I hadn't just eaten, a whole ton of crap while I was cooking. I'm not going to tell that lie anymore. Number 7, don't round down the numbers on weight or carb count. I'm guilty. If I'm wanting to get to a goal, if say I wanted to lose 10 pounds by a certain date and I'd only lost 9, I'd say, nah, I lost 10. No, you didn't, heifer. You only lost 9. Not doing that anymore. Carb counts too. If I wanted to have something and I was feeling guilty like I shouldn't have it, I would lie to myself and act like I hadn't had as many carbs as I had. Stupidness. Just stupidness. Number 8, learn where carbs actually are and stop acting like if it says it has none, you can eat as many as you want. I lie to myself a lot, guys. I know this is hard to explain. Let's say, on net carbs, you can take and subtract the fiber from the carbs, and that's your net carbs. Well, I would lie to myself when I knew, certain things I can get away with net carbs, like fruit, not many fruits. I only do it with, strawberries. I don't do any other fruits, actually, at the moment. But if it's any of those Atkins candies and stuff, no, my body goes, I see every one of those carbs, heifer. So I have to, stop not being truthful with myself on that one, on where carbs actually are and how many there are and all that kind of stuff. Okay, number 9, stop using your husband or kids as an excuse. Y'all, I've done this. I think a lot of us do this. I can't go on a diet because my husband wants this, or I can't go on a diet because my kids want this, and it's just so hard. I can't do it when, I have to feed my family food. No, they don't need unhealthy stuff either. So stop lying. Stop lying and saying that because your husband won't do it or because your kids won't do it, you can't do it either. It does make it a little tougher, but you can still do it. Number 10, stop using cost as an excuse. Been there, done that. I said, but it's so expensive to go on a diet. It's so expensive to eat healthy. It's so expensive to eat right. No, it's not. Food is expensive, period. And if you're not buying chips and cookies and cakes and sodas and all that kind of stuff, you can afford to eat low carb. I promise. I'm doing it, and I actually find that I spend less now than before because I'm not buying all that junk anymore. So you can do it. Don't lie. Number 11, stop rewarding yourself for whatever happens that's hard or bad with food, like somehow you deserve it. This is kind of ties back into the one about punishing myself. If I've had a hard day, I'm like, I deserve this Snicker bar, No. If this heifer pissed me off, I'm like, I deserve these 2 Snicker bars. No. Not that I don't deserve something, but just because I'm upset doesn't mean I have an excuse to shove something in my head. I'm not going to tell that lie anymore to myself. Number 12. This is a big one for me, y'all. Stop using physical issues as an excuse. Guys, I have diverticulosis. I have hypothyroidism. I've had 3 spine surgeries. I have a tumor in my hip. I have a lot of excuses to use. The only ones that I really use is my back hurts. And that's not a lie. My back really does hurt. The tumor in my hip really does hurt. But recently, I went to see my friend Malia in a pageant. Y'all, I stood in one place, basically, for 6 straight hours watching her in that pageant. So I can stop lying and saying, man, I can't do it. My body hurts. I can exercise a little bit. That's a lie. I'm going to have to stop telling that lie. Period. Number 13, stop using ignorance as an excuse. Just because you don't know doesn't mean you have an excuse, to not do it. We have the internet. We have access to any knowledge we want out there. So just because you don't know or, whatever, look it up. Don't make an excuse. Stop lying to yourself about you don't know. You have the ability to look anything on this earth up. Most of us carry our phones 24/7. Look it up. Number 14, stop moving the start date to after events you want to overeat at. I'm so guilty of this, y'all. I say, I'm not going to go on a diet, like say Christmas is coming, and I'll go on a diet the first of the year. Or somebody's birthday's coming, and I know we're going to want to go out to eat. Stop it. Just start. Just start it. Don't put it after such and such a date. Don't lie to yourself and say that's why you're waiting to start. You're just not starting. I'm guilty, y'all. I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. These are things I've had to work on with myself. 15, stop acting like you have all the time in the world to start eating healthy. Ladies, listen to me. I was guilty. I would say, psh, I'll do that when I get old. Psh, I'll do that someday. Who's going to care what I look like when I get old? Trust me. This old lady right here cares. I care if I'm healthy. I care what I look like. I care. I wish I had started much, much, much sooner caring about this body. Don't put it off like you have all the time in the world. You'll be just like me. You'll wake up one day and go, who's that heifer? It's you. You will age, and here you'll be going, how did I get here? I literally feel like I went to bed one night as like a 20-something-year-old person, and I woke up and went, heifer, would you move out of the mirror? I can't see myself. That's me. You don't have all the time in the world. Time flies. I'm not holding anybody else to a standard I didn't hold myself to. I just want maybe some of you to learn from my mistakes. That was one of my biggest mistakes. Number 16, stop making fat jokes about yourself and giving others permission to do the same. I'm very guilty of this one, guys. My whole life I've handled it like this. I have made fun of myself. Like, I beat everybody to the punch. I would joke about myself before anybody else had the opportunity, and lied to myself and thought, well, if I make fun of myself first, then it's not as bad, when somebody else does. And some people don't need permission. Some people just hurt your feelings because my daddy was one of those people. He would just hurt your feelings and he didn't even care. For instance, I had, when you're a stay-at-home mom, you don't have a whole lot of money to treat yourself to something special, and that was true for us. We didn't make a whole lot of money. Now, I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me, because this is what I wanted. I wanted to stay home with my kids, but things were tight. But I had the opportunity to buy myself this coat, and y'all, I actually still have it. It's just too big for me now. But I love that coat. It was a long black duster looking coat, and it wasn't leather, but it's like material. It looks like leather, but it's not, because I couldn't afford leather. But anyway, I walked into my parents' house one day wearing this coat, and I was all proud of it, and my daddy said, Gina, how many cows did it take to make you that coat? Now, I'm sure I popped off something smart aleck back to him, but that's wrong. That, you shouldn't make fun of yourself, because others then feel like they can make fun of you too. And it's a lie. It does hurt our feelings. And so don't give anybody permission to say hurtful things. Now, I will probably always say, Big Mama. I'll call myself Big Mama because I'm a really tall girl. And so I'm always going to be big. I've been fatter, but I'm always going to be big. So I'll probably always call myself Big Mama. But I'm trying not to make fat jokes anymore. Number 17, stop saying it doesn't matter if you look like death warmed over because you are married. Y'all, I'm so guilty of this one. I have gone months on end without fixing my hair or putting my makeup on because I've been like, psh, he don't care, why should I bother? He don't care. And it's true. He doesn't care. I know when I lost all the weight back in my 30s, I remember getting way out of sorts with him because he never complimented me on my weight loss. And when I brought it to his attention, he said, well, I don't even notice that you've lost weight. And I'm like, what? You don't notice that I've lost weight? I want you to fall out on that floor every day and go, girl, you look good. But that's just not him. what he said was, you're you, big or little, you're always you, and I just see you as you. Oh, I'm very thankful for that. But at the same time, I want him, I want him to notice. But yeah, I have been guilty of going, psh, I'm not hunting a man. I'm not fixing to try to fix my hair and put my makeup on. Well, you don't have to be hunting a man to put your makeup on and fix your hair. It's for you. It makes us feel good. So, guys, those are lies I've told myself through the years. I'm really working on not telling myself any of these lies anymore. I hope if you've seen yourself in some of these, that you too will start fixing that. We'll start not telling ourselves these lies, and become the best us we can be, because that's all we can do. We can only try to be better tomorrow than we were today, and that's what I'm trying to do. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.